Hey everyone, I'm Paula, of course. Welcome to the channel. You are about to be watching an upload here of a Twitch live stream. I'm really excited for you to see this one because in this stream we played World Order from Hegemonic Project Games, who sponsored the stream and this video upload. A big thanks to them. Now, if you've heard of the award-winning game from last year, Hegemony, this is their latest title. This is their latest title, and at the time of uploading, it is currently on Kickstarter. There will be a link for that in the description below if you're interested. I'm so excited about this specifically because it's not just me and Matthew. We did a 4-player game, so I have Monique from Before You Play and Bonzinator, who you may know from Twitch and Instagram, joining us. We give you just a little taste of the game. We play through the whole first round of the game. It's a 6-round game, and we do an example of scoring for you so you can help understand and get an idea of what this game might feel like to play. We had a great time. I hope you have a great time watching. Again, it's a Twitch live stream upload, so there are some interactions with the chat, some little pop-ups that happen on screen, but hopefully nothing too distracting for you. Thanks so much for being here and enjoy.
Welcome to World Order.
Welcome to World Domination. Now that we're done talking about feeling peaceful inside.
For global hegemony. All right, you rascals. Should I take us through roughly what's happening in this game?
Yes. Yeah. Now, okay, I'm gonna make a promise to everyone in chat, to Matthew specifically. No matter what happens in chat right now, no matter what alerts play, no matter what happens, I am not going to interrupt Matthew. Matthew is going to do a brief rules overview, and we will talk about more detail of what we're doing while we play. So, Matthew,
I like how you were saying something to me, but really didn't say it to me. But I picked up what you put down, which is hurry up. Look,
no,
you've
that's
never
not at all what I was
spoken.
saying. What?
You've never not spoken. You've already relinquished your...
You haven't started yet.
Speaking rights. You've relinquished your speaking privileges for the next 5 minutes. So I can say what I want at this point. Look. Welcome to World Order, a game where we are vying for... Basically, we want not military control over the world or anything like that. We want to just be the top dog politically in that kind of way. Like, we're the people that everyone else looks up to and says, is it okay if we go drill in Nigeria? And I go... I'll allow it. That's basically what this game is about. The world that we remember so fondly from 2010. Okay, we are playing as 4 different nations. We have the Russian Federation, the People's Republic of China, the United States of America, and the European Union, which at this point still included the UK. RIP. So, as you can see, we have a...
Oh, the good old days.
I'm sorry, what, Paula? Was that speaking?
Oops.
Sounded...
Yeah, I was just making a joke. You were making a joke. You haven't actually started the rules yet.
No.
As you can see, there is a map of the what we know that we have of the globe so far. Some flat earthers will say that there's actually an ice wall that goes around, and many other continents yet undiscovered beyond that. But this is what the globalists will have you believe is what the Earth really looks like. And it's split up into several different regions: the Americas, Africa, the Middle East, and so on. You can see that via the board game power of cubes and cubes alone will we be throwing our dominance around like big world players. We have these scoring tracks that are going to score at the end of round 3 and at the end of round 6. We will probably be playing to the end of round 3, which is fully one half of the game. And we'll see a scoring that happens there. These countries or these regions will be scoring if all of the permanent influence markers are put down. If we go to the Middle East as our example, we already have some starting influence markers. If these 3 influence markers are finished by the end of round 3, we'll actually score the Middle East. If not, then we won't. So that's something to pay attention to. And we're going to get scoring based on majorities. And we're going to get 10, 7, 4, or 2 points based on the majorities of cubes, i.e. influence that we've put into that region. There are many ways to get cubes onto the board. Most of those are going to be through the playing of cards. Thank you for asking. This is also a deck builder. We are going to start with 12 cards, I think. We're going to pick 6 of them. There is a starting set of cards that we can use. Those cards are going to have different abilities on them, But essentially what you're going to do is play the card and do what the card says. The more I'm talking, the more I'm realizing that there is to talk about this game, but we'll explain quite a lot of it as we go.
We'll talk a lot as we go, yes. And we haven't done our setup yet.
If we go over to our player aid, probably the best thing for us to see, my player aid over here. We have 4 main types of cards. There are green, red, blue, and orange, and they are diplomatic, military, domestic, and economic. Essentially, every card that you play, there'll be one of these colors. You'll be able to do one of the actions associated with that card, and most normally, great English, you'll be doing some type of augmented action based on the card itself. When we buy cards, they're going to be better actions, but they're going to fall into the dynamic of these main 8 actions. There's the green cards allow you to improve relations and engage. Improving relations means become friends with another country around the world, and engaging means choose a region where you have at least one allied country.
What Captain Picard has told you.
So essentially, this is 2 ways to help you get influence. So improve relations means grabbing one of these country cards, and you have to pay a cost to do that. And engaging means paying the diplomatic cost of a region just to put a cube in, essentially. Red actions are military actions, and we have move tanks, or move armies, essentially, and building a base. And those are going to be ways to exert more influence over a country, which I'll go into later. But all these actions cost money, but bases are going to help us get into areas where we don't normally have influence. So it would help China get armies into the Americas, for instance. We have trading and investing. Investing is very simple. You pay a cost on the card and you invest the amount of money the card tells you to invest, and then you get money each round. And there's also some benefits for investing as well, because you get to add an influence to the board. Adding an influence is what we're trying to do. Putting a base also helps us add an influence to the board, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly I am mistaken. Who knows?
Add 1 influence to that country's region when you build a base.
I'm done. We also have...
Not live on stream, preferably.
Think of the views. We also have blue cards, which are get a growth card and produce. Production is produce goods, which we'll go into, which we're going to be used for trading. And we're also going to have get a growth card. These growth cards are at the top of the board, and they're special powers and they're points. The best growth card, for instance, at the Olympic Games, the space program, are worth 18 points. Probably won't be seeing those today, but they are lots and lots of points. There's like 40 odd points to getting growth cards. It's a lot.
Once you can only get, sorry if you've already said this, you can only get a level 1 first, and then you have to get a level 2, and then after that you have to get a level 3, and then after that a level 4. You always have to go 1 up from the level of growth card you already have.
So we're going to be deck building and playing cards like a deck builder, and we're going to be area controlling and getting points like an area control game. But there's also a lot more intrigue and politics going on in this game. The cards themselves we're going to be able to get at the end of the round, and we're going to have a certain amount of research points based on the cards we have left in our hand. We've got 6 cards. We're going to play 4. That is going to be there's goods to get on the cards that you don't actually play. One of those goods is research. That's going to help us get more cards. And the other cards, they are just better. Like these cards that you can buy are just straight up better than your starting cards. Like you got new strategic partner, which is improve relations with the country on the board, then build a base in it. So you get to do 2 actions.
Yeah.
They're just strictly better.
Because we're only getting 4 actions every turn, so.
There is, from what I found about learning this game, is there's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I get this. And it does make sense.
It's one of those where there's a lot of different things, but the things themselves are not actually super complicated. So yeah.
Let's just go to my United States of America board.
Okay.
Don't touch it unless you're willing to stand.
What if I put my hand on my heart?
You can put your hand on your heart. And you can hum an American tune of your choosing.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real life wife, nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle went to town just to ride the pony. I am that Yankee Doodle boy. Thank you. Thank you.
I suspect that you are actually a spy and will be shot. So, we'll talk about our player boards now. We're going to start off by going... There's different phases of the game. The first phase of the game we're not going to do in the first round, but we will be doing in the second round. That's all to do with choosing a focus. We have a domestic focus, diplomatic focus, and a military focus. Essentially, these are going to give us... Firstly, they're going to show your hand to the other players. It's like, I'm going for the military focus, and everyone might be going, oh, I see what you might have in store for us this round. But they're also going to help you do other things, and it's going to be doing things like increasing productions in certain aspects of our board, and the military focus helps you with a few military things. They give you some buffs for that. And the domestic focus gives you a buff on research points for buying cards at the end of the round. We all have to do domestic at the first round. And it tells us what we're allowed to produce. We have basic production, which we are all going to just do, which is energy, raw minerals, and food. But then we have these extra things that we can produce. And they are armies, diplomacy,
consumer goods
and services. Consumer goods and services. And we want to be producing all of these things because we have a trade thing. I didn't go into trade, but trade is probably the largest action of the game.
We'll be doing it in the game. You'll see it. Don't worry.
We want to be producing things so that we can sell things, so that we can do other things. But we also want the goods themselves because, for instance, the cards that you can buy need services and diplomacy or money, which we need to spend. We also need to perhaps each round buff our prosperity and go up to the top of the prosperity track for a bunch of points, but we have to sell consumer goods to do that. All that type of stuff. Tanks are going to be on the board as well as a way to kind of like manipulate at the end of each round points. We've spoke about that. If a country has more tanks in an area that you care about than you will be losing points at the end of each round. The end of round 3 is going to be our proper scoring. There's a bunch more stuff to talk about, how there's countries that we all have allies to. We can get more countries to be allied to. We can spend those countries for diplomatic buffs when we're going to do things in that region. If I wanted to buy the card that was Japan, I could use another card in that area to reduce the cost, or if I have another Japan card, we'll get into all that as we play. But that's roughly what's happening in this game. I think it's probably best if we just start playing and having a good time.
I say yes. Before we start, our other Monique and Banz, any just questions off the top of your head before we start? We do need to get our starting deck and choose our strategic assets as part of our setup. Yes.
Okay, so cubes. Yeah. The top half is going to stay there permanently. The bottom half is removed after when? At the end of round 1, at the end of round 2?
That's a great question. So the top half are there permanently. They're the permanent influence. This bottom half are worth more points. But if we go back to the Middle East, like history has taught us, it all happens in the Middle East. There's more points for going here, right? You get 5 points and 4 points and 3 points and 2 points and 1 point. You're like, I want 5 points. That's going to be great. But your cube to the left-hand side is at risk because they don't get wiped for any reason. But if there are 5 cubes in this area, someone can put a cube in this area and that's going to go into the 1 spot and push the cube in the 5 spot out. So that means that the cubes here are going to rotate round. So if I've got a cube here and Paula's got a cube and...
that's not me, but that's fine.
That's me.
That's Monique. I'm red, baby.
You've got a cube and another yellow cube goes in here, and then red says, I'm going to put some temporary influence into the Middle East. You still can. and all these cubes will move down.
So now,
and the
Matthew has a lot less influence when it comes to area control. Now, when we score, because his cubes got knocked out.
I know you can refresh for free. You can actually take a refresh action and move the blue one back over to 1 and shove them all over so that and then I know they don't count unless the top half is filled, but at what point are you scoring those points? Is that the end of round 1, end of round 2,
as soon as you place the cube?
3 and 6.
You score the points as soon as you score the points for the cubes that you place immediately when you place the cube.
So when you put your cube on this 5 spot, you will get 5 points. And then you're hoping to still stay there to be calculated for the area control at the end of round 3 when we do these area control points at the bottom. Does that make sense?
It does. So, but none of them count for area control unless the top part is filled?
Yes.
Correct. The whole region won't score unless the permanent influence is filled.
Okay, I think my confusion originally was I thought we were talking about victory points, or I was thinking about victory points, and instead it was actually telling me about area control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Got it.
Okay. So we it's good to have permanent influence, even though it's less points.
Yes.
Well, early in the game.
Depending on the region, right?
Yeah. There's certainly a strategic argument to say, hey, I'm only ever going to bother putting 1 cube into the Middle East because I'm not concentrating on the Middle East. Nothing else I'm doing involves the Middle East. But I've got the chance to put 1 cube in. I'm just going to go grab 5 points from the Middle East because I'm never going to put any more cubes here. So I'm never going to win area majority. And I also don't want the region to score because I'm not going to put any more cubes in here. So if the region does score, it's only going to give other people points. So you might be going, I'm just going to take the temporary point, take the points now because I don't care what happens in this region.
And once all those temporary spaces are filled, like when cubes bump off, they don't continue to earn those points, right? Like that's it. It's just the first time.
No, they're gone.
Correct.
They're gone. You just get them, So, would everybody like to firstly... So there's 2 options. You can take the starter cards. There's some cards in your deck which have a triangle on them as well. Those are your starter cards. We could probably all just play with those starter cards.
I think that we should. So if you come over to your deck, that should be at the top right of your player board. It says World Order on the back. Just flip it over and we're just going to sort out. So any ones that have a little triangle, like play kind of button symbol next to the name of the card is a starting card. So pull that out. That will be your starting hand of 6 and then shuffle the rest. Well, you don't need to shuffle them because we're going to
because that's
going to pull 6 cards next time. So
well, actually do shuffle them because you won't be getting all of them because the cards that you buy go on top of your deck.
Oh, that's true.
So do shuffle them. Not that it matters too much because we're just here for fun times. And I would like everyone as well to shuffle. You can see a deck that has your name on it. Mine says United States of Awesome. And I will... there's got an eagle on it, and it's killing a dolphin.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good, I think. I think it's something to do with owning that. It's a folktale. Draw 2 of them.
Wait, where is that?
So yours, Monique, are here.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So draw 2 of them? Oops.
Just draw 2 of them. Oh. And turn them upside down or correct way around. And these are going to be your... Oh, there's a name for these. Strategic assets, something like those lines.
Oh, so they're face up.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, everyone watching me right now. Yeah. I'm trying to make my... Look, I'm having a tabletop simulator issue and everyone's really zoomed in on me just trying to get cards in my hand right now. And it's fine.
I can see what's happening. Great. It's all going crazy.
Everything was going a bit skew-if.
So these are... So you're only going to get 2 of these the whole game. One thing that you can do on your turn is you always will be playing a card every turn, right? But you can also play a card face down and not do the action on the card. If you do that, you can do 2 things. You can take 10 money, which might be what you need at that time, or you can play one of these cards, which are like your special power cards. So if you play a card face down, you can do these. For instance, I have Arms Export and R&D Champion. So that's what those cards do. You also have an amount of victory points showing on these cards. I have 5, 6, 7, for instance.
And that's
And
your
that is
starting VP.
Starting points for the game.
I have
question.
Yes.
So I draw 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just take 2
and leave the rest face down.
Yeah, just leave the rest.
You
face
won't
down.
be using
And
the
you
rest
don't have to have them
at all. They would go
You can
back
just
in the
put them-
box.
Yeah, they'd go back.
Okay.
How do you know your starting victory points? You add up the ones on both cards?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I have 9.
No,
Ooh, I also
must
have
be
9.
nice.
Whoa.
I'll put y'all on there. Okay.
It is nice.
Ooh,
I only start with
unlimited-
5.
Well, let's go.
Oh boy.
Collective security treaty and arms export. Well, look, arms export, and I'm doing arms export. Me and Russia, let's be friends. That's how it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. it.
So the other thing is the starting cards with the triangle. Do I put all of them in my hand?
Yes.
Yes.
Those all go into
Okay.
your hand.
So we only start with 4 cards.
So you start with 6. You will play 4 of them on your turn, and the 2 you don't play will then get played down in the research phase for their magnifying glass points and their other. It will give you
Research
some
points.
other good things
so
that you
there
gain
are-
from them.
There were 6 starting cards?
Yes.
There should be 6, yes. And all our decks, I'll mention as well, are
Everything's
slightly
a little bit
different by
different.
2 cards.
And our player boards are different. What we produce and how much is different. So you can see, like, if you're looking
Yeah,
at
the benefits for prosperity track are different. For instance, it's asymmetrical.
Russia can produce a whole barrel of oil, a bunch of energy here. But if you look at my board, China, sorry, wow, that I even heard it happen. My board, I can produce barely any oil, but I got lots of food. So, we got it's hard out here.
A question about the research. Is the cost right here on the right of the
Yes.
card?
Yes,
Correct.
It is
Okay.
correct. Absolutely correct.
And what you would gain from the card if you played it in the research phase is on the left. That's not the right button.
You want to do it now as well,
Yeah.
don't you? Because
Yes,
Banz
I want to remember there. So it would cost you
And the
4
person-
research points too.
And the first person
gosh.
in the turn
Matthew.
order for this round would be able to buy the research card when we get to that phase, right?
Yes,
Yes, it's turn order.
Who is
pretty
blue?
it's Matthew. Of course, it's Matthew. Who do you think would be behaving like that? Of course, it's Matthew. So now we go in order, starting from the person with the lowest starting victory points to the
Well,
highest, and choose our
I
turn
will
order. Oh, something else,
say
Matthew?
First, take your starting income, which is printed on your board above the number 5 slot in your resources. I start off with 30 money because I'm American.
Whoa.
I get 20.
Okay. I have 25.
Wow.
I have 15.
Yeah.
Where's the money?
where's the
Where's
money?
my money?
I played only 20, not
right
30.
here.
What am I taking? In our practice game, I played Russia, and we only played like 2 rounds for our practice game, but I was broke the whole time. So,
Oh.
but you produce a lot of resources for trade and stuff. So, okay.
Yeah, and now we're going to choose turn order. So
Hi, Murdertron. It's nice to see you.
the person who gets to choose first is China, because they are the poorest as far as victory points go.
Yeah, I only started with 5.
There is benefit to going last, but
know what?
not when it comes to buying research cards.
I'm gonna go second.
Second.
And then it's
Oh.
Matthew. Matthew, you should
I
go
will
first
go.
for the example turn.
I think
Hi, Noda.
America first, baby.
That's right. That's right.
That's where I'm at. America first.
Wow.
Okay, and then there is a tie here.
There's a tie, so it's actually based on who has the most money. So I guess that's Banz goes first because Banz has the least.
Has the
money,
least. Yeah. So would you like
Oh,
to go
so I get to go first.
third
You get to choose.
or fourth?
You
Right?
wanna
Yeah,
be
because
third or fourth?
I
You get to be first for
choose.
choosing third or fourth in turn order.
I will take third because that's still a medal.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
You're still bronze.
Not like
I see.
and the European
Tantarlus.
Union.
I'll be
We'll
for
go
it.
away. Tantarlus, this game is set in 2010, the highly distant path of 14 years ago.
14 years.
I
Well,
know.
one thing I'll say is going last is
Can be a good
probably
thing.
You can react.
A good benefit because you can react. Yeah, you can react to what everyone else is doing.
You knew how to play strategically.
Exactly. If you know what you're doing going last.
We'll learn.
I don't know nothing about no strategy or nothing like that.
Out.
So, all right. America's first, as is my God-given right.
Right.
And I will
go west,
be
young
doing
man.
Something. I'll be doing something on my turn. Gosh dang it. All right, what the heck do I want to do? So
this is why I went second. I will say, because I'm doing a lot of showing the chat what everyone's doing on their turns, I will try to be. I will probably not be playing optimally, because I will not be spending my downtime thinking.
Okay,
about my
wait.
turn.
No. Yeah. You can't. No, you can't make that disclaimer. All right.
I can't make it.
Okay, fine. Then I make the disclaimer that I am playing on a screen. I'm playing on a computer.
Yeah,
exactly.
True. So
we didn't get a practice game, right, Banz?
Yeah.
You could have practiced yourselves. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Matthew's like, enough talking, let me win.
So as I was saying, as America, I'm going to make some more allies, because that's what America does the best. We all know we're allies. Relationship improving. I had relations with an American once. It didn't end well, but we'll go into it.
Thank you again to Hegemonic Project Games for sponsoring this stream. The Kickstarter for this is live. If it looks interesting to you, go click on that. I will also say we can see Matthew's entire hand right now because of how he's playing, but in the real game, you would be holding your cards. This is secret information.
I don't want my cards in my periphery, if you will. So I'm going to play this card here. That's going to be, it's a green card. It allows you to improve relations with a country on the board. So I'm going to go to the board and I'm going to improve relations with...
Now this has to be with a country in a region you already have a relationship with, or can be any country?
Any country on the board.
Great.
The only benefit of it... Yes, unless there's a cross route, such as Myanmar, America can't.
Look.
I couldn't choose Myanmar, for instance.
I could build a base there. Okay, interesting.
So this is all to do with the top left-hand corner. You can see there's a 3 there, which is the diplomatic.
The number in the white
to improve my relations with this country, and I will be doing that. And I can spend diplomacy, which is the green resource, of which I have 4 straight away, or I can actually tap down or exhaust other countries that I am friends with, cards that I already have in that region to do so. So I might as well do that because I'm actually improving relationships with a country I already have relationships with.
Japan, of course you are.
Which is Japan. So I can exhaust Japan for 2 influence because my Japan card is worth 2 influence.
And see, because it's the number in its white hex.
And I can improve relations with Japan. And so I'm only going to spend 1 diplomacy to do that. Because I've offset it by another country that I'm already friends with in the region that happens to be the same country. Now, there is a special extra bonus thing that happens if you have 2 cards of the same region.
Or the same country.
And it says, if you choose 2 cards of the same country, yes, in the same region. Choose a region in which you have at least... it said, if you choose a country you were already allies with, place the new card on top of the previous one, leaving only its trade icons available. So actually, this is extra trading stuff that can happen here.
Yeah, because you're BFFs with Japan right now.
Absolutely. It will now be treated as a single country. You may also immediately exhaust it to get 1 influence. So I'm going to immediately exhaust that Japan card and pop an influence.
Maybe we shouldn't have let Matthew go first.
Yeah, what is happening?
East
and you're taking
Asia.
The permanent spot here.
Oh, sure I am.
And
so it's going to give me 1 point immediately. And that is my turn.
Cool. Well, I'm going to start off by...
I like this, by the way. This is a sponsored stream. I'm like, this is doing things.
I need suitcases for growth cards.
Suitcases?
Services. Paula.
Yeah, I'm not going to call them by the right thing.
Did anyone here play Hegemony? I never played it.
I have not. It seems like a lot to me. But I know people love it. People absolutely love it.
Everyone I'd have thought, Monique, you might have played it.
I want to, but I think it's very long. but I hear it's very good.
Yeah, which is the cool thing about this game is it is nowhere near the same kind of length as that. Although
I'm going to play
strategically exciting as well.
I want to back this game. I'm tempted.
Just so everyone knows, when you play your cards out for your actions, you're meant to keep them in front of you in 4 so that you can keep track of how many turns you've taken. So I'm playing this one out here. I'm going to play my growth strategy. I can either get a growth card or produce 3 resources. I'm going to go on and get a growth card. The one I'm going to get costs me 10 money and a suitcase. A service.
I wanted that one.
There should be others underneath it. So I'm going to get this one, industrial development. Increase 2 of my productions by 1.
Oh, I see.
I will say with these, there is only 1 of the 5th level ones though, so it is a race to the end of this track.
Oh, okay.
So I can take right now, like my oil production, my energy production is only at 1. I'll increase that one up to its max of 2, and then I'm also gonna take raw materials. That's actually what that's called, not just racks. And I'm gonna boost that to its max of 4.
If you would like to increase like a track on the second row, don't you have to pay something?
If you're producing those items, you must pay their cost to manufacture them in your primary resources. But just to increase the production, I don't think.
Money. You have to pay money. And you have to be military focus, diplomatic focus, domestic focus. Yeah.
Do I immediately gain these? Or does that only happen during the focus? I think that only happens during when we do our focus.
I believe we started off with the resources that we have.
Well, what I mean is now that I've increased my production for 2 of them, do I immediately gain 1? Or does that now wait until I do an actual production?
I don't think you get them immediately.
I think that only happens when we're doing it during focus. I can double check when it's 1, and I get 2 victory points for doing that. And that's my turn.
I will look whilst other things are happening, but I don't think you do.
Cool. Thank you, Matthew. All right, that's me. I've played 1 card. So now it is...
It's my turn.
Yes.
Hold on,
I'm going to play...
How to play. The game over 6 rounds. Each round is...
No.
How to play. 22 pages, let's go.
Let's just read this out loud for a moment. Thank you for the follow, Chubby Meeple. Oh, thank you for the follow, Baldwin Board Games earlier. And thank you for that sub.
I know Baldwin Board Games.
Oh, yay.
Okay. So this sponsored stream is actually an audio podcast or video podcast where we all sit around the table and Matthew reads the rulebook out loud.
Yes. Yeah.
And
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
I think that's a great activity.
And no one else says anything.
All right.
Because we're not allowed to, except for when Paula sings. That's
exactly. Yeah. That's the stream in a gist. That's the stream in a nutshell. That's what I mean.
Am I allowed to take my turn?
Yes, you are.
Said,
please
hold
go.
on a moment. Okay.
No. I was just.
You're just
please do.
being a skunk.
Okay, because I've been waiting. All right, so I'm gonna do something similar to Matthew. I'm gonna improve relations with a country on the board by playing the new allies card, and I am gonna improve with a country that I currently don't have an ally with, so I have to pay the full cost. What is that symbol called? Diplomacy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually go visit South Africa.
Ooh.
And maybe take a vacation.
I think you've grabbed the whole deck by accident. Drop it again.
Oh, I mean, might as well while I'm down there. Okay. So I'll put that up here, and then I have to move my
your green flags 1.
Yep, 1, 2, because the price was there. Oh, actually, it's 3, and I was at 3, so it goes down to 0. And then because of that, I get a cube.
Thank you for that follow. It's nice to see you.
So,
yay!
Just increasing diplomacy, you don't get a cube, do you? Do you?
I think only if you have it already.
Only if you've already got one. Allies. Only if you've already got one. It's only the
You've
second
improved
country.
Relations. Okay.
You may.
But you just improved relations, which is important.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. You have to engage to. You got to put a ring on it to get some influence. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I don't.
So I think that's my turn. Do
Great.
I need to do anything else?
No.
Just have fun.
I think that's it. Monique.
Okay. Me. I too will improve relations.
Wow, am I a loser for being the only one who didn't do this?
I think you might.
No. Oh my God.
I think you might be. I think you might be.
It is possible. I'm gonna take this card. Oh, I did the same thing.
No. That one has nothing
There
underneath
is
it,
only
so
one.
you're good.
There's only
yeah.
one there.
Okay.
On
It
the
is
left is
Jordan.
a whole stack, and on the right, they're just for now they're single cards. They'll become a stack as we go.
Okay. So I am already allied with Jordan. Which means I don't have to
handy.
pay anything because it was only one. Is that right?
You have to
Well,
flip
you
this
have to
over.
exhaust.
I have to
you have
I'm
to
gonna exhaust
this
this.
one.
Yep.
Yes.
And now,
And you might as well exhaust that one
Yeah,
because
to
you're
put
putting
an
a
influence.
fresh one on top of. Yes.
so it initially costs 1 diplomacy, right? That's what's in the hex.
Yes.
But because I exhaust that, then it's free.
Yes.
And then I'm going to
Then it's
exhaust
free.
this second one to put an influence
Yep.
there.
And we'll
Is
keep
this my
these.
supply? What is this big
Matthew
cube?
and I are doing the same thing.
Oh.
I'll let you do it, Matthew.
Sorry, yeah.
Keep that stacked so that you can see, even though these are exhausted,
Oh,
you will
I see.
still be able to export food to them, and you could do
Oh,
two.
I see.
So we keep those showing. Yeah.
Okay.
And when trade comes up, we'll go through that in a bit more detail because it is probably the most complex action of the game.
And then my
That's it.
influence
Keep it.
cube will go in one of these spaces, right? Of my
Yeah.
choice?
Wherever you want.
Okay, I'm going to take the 5
I say why not?
because we're here for a fun time and not a long time. Score
Here
these
for a fun
points.
Well,
time and
actually,
not a
because
long
we're playing probably only 3 rounds, taking the 5 points might in the
Pretty
in the
good.
short term be
Right.
changed.
That's half of the
1,
max
2,
points
3,
of this
4,
area.
5.
Okay.
Well, true, it is. It's half of the points that you could get
Yeah.
to this region. You might be like, cool, I'll just get my 9 points here and
Just
then not
do
care
it,
about
yeah.
anything later.
Cool.
All right, it's Matthew's
Okay,
turn.
so now
person.
it's time for everyone to take a second action. That was it. That was one go round. It's not a round.
Easy.
We've all just taken one of our 4 actions.
Yeah, this
I
game
mean-
is simple.
Yeah.
I would argue that there's a lot of every part of this game is simple, but there's a lot of parts. I can totally. It was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
lots of
Civolution.
yeah, there's lots of small things. Yes. All right, I'm going to.
So you're doing a growth
Right,
strategy.
I am going to grab the diplomatic initiative because that allows me to ready an additional card, which is good because it means I can spend my
Yeah.
cards a bit more willy-nilly.
Wait, ready
That's
an
me.
additional card? Oh, that's for.
So when we do our
Because
focus,
we're going to exhaust our.
Sorry,
Yeah, we're going to exhaust our cards. The only way we get our cards back is by choosing a focus, and the focus that we choose tells us how many cards we will.
we can flip back over.
We can ready. But if I have this diplomatic initiative, I always get to add 1 to that value, and I also get 2 points immediately.
And you
Paula,
paid
did
your
you take
suitcase?
points?
And
I
you
haven't
pay
done
your
that yet,
costs?
Paula.
I'll do it for
I
you.
haven't done that yet.
Move.
No, I'll do it.
No, I've done it. Don't do it again. I've done it.
I have a military question.
Yeah.
When it says
Whoa.
move,
Ask
when it says
America.
move the when you move your tank or whatever,
Uh-huh.
does that mean like you have to have it on top of your board in order to move
So-
it, or can it come from the supply?
Move means either
Oh.
from your board here at the top where you have a supply of 2
That's
onto
me.
the board, or okay,
It's
so
fine. I
even
saw,
better.
I saw it, yeah.
So either
But yes.
so you have a supply of tanks which is kept at the top. You can either move means you can either take one and put it on the board somewhere, or you can take one that's already on the board and move it to another region. Every movement of a tank, an army, will cost 5 money.
Okay.
Well, it's my second action, and I will now improve relations with a country on the board. Sorry, that was wow. Okay, everyone is off screen. It's fine. You can see it. You can see it, chat. So where do I already have relations? I did want to go into Myanmar, didn't I? I will do that because I can build a base there. So I'll grab Myanmar from South Asia. And I'm not going to, this is only 1, and my current one, Pakistan, is worth 2. And so if I exhaust that now, I'm like overspending. So I'm just going to spend the 1 diplomacy on my board and put this over here with my country. And then I think that's That's it, right? There's no influence because, wait, would it have been smarter? Would one of my current countries already on the board so I can play some influence out? No. Okay, we're fine. I've made the choice.
The Tom Waits song Burma Shave now. It's a great song.
Yes, and get DMCA'd. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not? Okay, I've done it. I improved my relations with the country on the board.
It won't be close enough.
No. Matthew?
No. Okay, I'm going to play growth strategy, and I'm going to, instead of getting a growth card, I'm going to produce 3 resources. I will produce 1 technology and 2 diplomacy, and I believe that's my turn.
You will have to pay for those.
What do I pay?
You pay for diplomacy, will cost you 7 money. No, it will cost you 3 money per. Right? 3 money per.
Yeah.
Okay.
And technology will cost you produce oil and
an oil rocks. And a rock.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
And then 6 money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get change but that's my turn.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna invest in an allied country because I don't really know how much money is too much money to spend in this game, honestly. So there's
only one way to find out, and that's to go broke and see like, oh, that was too much. That was too much.
Well, apparently I am allies with Norway, allegedly. So I think I have to pay. I pay the amount of money at the top of the card, right?
Yes. So 10.
10. Okay. So I'm gonna need change. Ooh, hold on.
Clorp Dunk in chat says you should cheat bonds because they won't notice. Banned. Hey, Gator Dave.
Oh, I didn't even see that comment. Well, as you saw, I just tried to get resources for free, and they definitely did catch it.
So I have to exhaust it when I do this.
Yeah,
right?
you have to exhaust. Yeah, because you can only invest in a country that isn't exhausted because you have to exhaust it to do it.
And then I put an FDI token on the card or in the region?
On the card.
You put it on the card, and that will mean that every round you'll get 3 money back. So investing in cheaper countries like Norway will actually net you a profit in the long term of the game.
Yes,
that's it, Monique. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
And the other benefit is that investing in a country allows you to put an influence token into that country's region. So you get to put an influence token into...
I'm going to put it on the 5.
Whoa.
Oops, sorry. I think I rotated this.
You're fine. I got it.
Okay. So...
Wow, and an early and commanding lead, the EU.
This is definitely the we're playing 3 round strat.
That's how you know you're playing with a real strats forward gamer. Monique's like, we're playing a short game?
How long is this?
This is how I'm going.
Don't do this in the real game, maybe.
You don't know, it could work, who knows?
I don't know. Yeah.
If you get a big enough lead for the first half of the game, maybe, you know?
Yeah, sorry, it's back to you, Matthew.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to play so quickly that we're going to end up playing all 6 rounds.
Maybe we will. I mean, we're going... We'll see.
I'm going to build a base. I build a base in an allied country, then get 1 diplomacy. So I'm going to grab my diplomacy straight away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to build a base. So building a base for everyone is choose a ready allied country with a base symbol on it. All mine but Mexico have base symbols on them. And then I get to exhaust it and place a base token on top of that country. And then I have to move a number of armies up to that country's value, minimum of 1. And building the base is going to cost you 5 money and moving the army. And you have to put an army. You have to put a
tank out. Yeah.
So, but it says and move a number of armies up to that country's value, but it doesn't have to be.
Both at a minimum of 1. So minimum, you're going to spend 10 money to do this action. And both of Matthew's countries have a value of 1 that he can put a base in. So he can move 1 tank.
I will move 1 tank. I will put that tank into...
And where do you build your base?
I'm going to build my... Look, I'm America. So guess where I'm building my base?
Iraq?
Correct. Iraq. And by Iraq, I do mean Iraq, because we don't say Iraq in the UK. And
In the US, we say it depends on where you are. It can be
I say
said any
Iraq,
old
not
way.
Iraq. There we go. So I've got a thing in here. Now, just so you know, Russia, you will be losing 2 points at the end of the round. Actually, do you know what I want to do instead?
Oh my goodness, what?
But not me.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, because US and
allies.
and EU don't
want
because of NATO. You don't.
One thing is I want to do is
Matthew.
I was like, actually, what I will do instead is I'll make Monique lose points.
can't.
But I can't.
Ha-ha!
do this way.
You have to rely on China to
I
get
now
in the
know.
way, I guess.
But you're plotting, though, Matthew.
So right now you have
I
2
know.
influence total, or just 1? Because you're blue cube.
So I'm blue, but I have the most
So-
military here, and that'll
break
be
ties.
points at the end of each round, not at the end, not in round 3 and
So
round
if
6.
I had 1 tank, are we tied?
Yes.
We will be tied, yes.
Okay.
Which is separate calculation from the influence cubes.
So the tanks are not influenced. They don't add to
Correct.
the influence for the end of round 3. But you get points
They do
every
break-
round.
Yes.
Do you other players will lose points every round, and
it's
tanks will
every
break
round.
ties.
Oh, so you don't gain points. Other players just lose
Yes,
points.
correct.
Yes.
Ah.
It's a
every
really
round.
interesting way of handling the military posturing, right?
Interesting.
Because that's what it is. It's military posturing. It's not military action.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. All right,
Oh
Paula.
boy, I just need to double check what this one
P-dog.
action means again.
P-dog?
That's me.
Oh, wow.
I don't call you P-Dog enough.
No one does. No one calls me P-Dog enough. That used to happen. Back when that was like a popular thing to do, I got P-Dog sometimes.
Really?
I got Pizzala, which is a name I use in some places occasionally. I got Paula a lot.
Paula?
I get that often here in Southern California. People are surprised often. They're like looking down and they hear my name and then they look up and they act surprised. I'm like, yeah, I'm. They're like, oh, you don't look how I thought you were going to. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Wait,
What kind of comment is that?
Because
I know.
people assume, people hear the name Paula or Paula, if that's how they're saying it, and assume they're going to see
I see.
someone,
Yeah.
a Latina, and I'm not. That's what I mean. I do
see.
get that.
Okay,
I'm like, I'm
okay.
pretty white. I think I'm going to engage in a region. So that means I can choose a region where I have an allied country. And I think I'm going to choose, oh, hold on. Kema says, I backed it, but I guess your link isn't special, so they won't know why. I was probably going to back it anyway. Well, don't tell them that, Camelus. Camelus, just tweet at them and tell them it was because of us. So I'm going to place an influence cube, pay the cost, and wait, can I afford to do this? It's 4. Yes, I can. So I'm going to engage in South Asia. And I'm going to place an influence cube. I'll place it temporarily. I'm going to do it in the 4 points. And it costs 4 diplomacy to do that. Now, I only have 2, but I do have 3 in these 2 regions. So I'm going to flip both of them to pay for 3 of the 4 and then spend my diplomacy for 1.
Because they're both South.
Because they're both purple.
South Asia as well.
And then I'll get 4 points for this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I believe that is the end of my 3rd action.
Okay. I'll be playing military enforcements.
Oh my gosh.
Gain 1.
How
tank
Russian
level
of you.
two. And I will be moving 2 of them on my board to the Middle East. And I
Wow.
believe that's my turn.
You got to
Wait, what?
Yes.
pay 5 for each movement.
Okay, so now Matthew and I are losing points.
Yes.
True. One thing I'll say is that on the cards, one thing that I think if I had one complaint about the game, I know this is a sponsored stream, and I don't really don't.
You can give
wanna bring
feedback.
Stuff up. When it says things like get 1 card, it means purchase 1 card, or get 1 army, it means purchase 1 army. But you might. I've noticed that it's like, oh, I get 1 army. It's like, no, you get the opportunity to purchase 1 army.
Yeah.
That's
So
so like when
wait.
it says get. So you still have to. So that action will cost you 15 in total because you get 1 army, then you may then move up to 2, but you still have to pay for it.
Well, the money. No, you don't pay to get the tank. The tank is you don't pay money to get the tank. If you look here on your board, you produce a tank. It costs you a rock and a wheat to get the tank.
Yes.
Oh,
so.
A rock and a wheat.
Sorry. Raw materials and food.
But
and
my
then you
point,
can pay your
my
tip.
point,
Yes.
yeah, my point remains though, right? It's like when it says
does.
get a research card, for instance.
Get the
card.
privilege of paying for the research
You
card.
get the privilege to buy one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to buy it, is it the cost on the left?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I would have just worded that purchase, or like I would have worded that card. Produce 1 tank.
Yeah, because when you think of get, you get something.
Mm-hmm.
Get feels like it should be free, right?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that sub, Gator
turn.
Dave, and also hi, Jakub. All right.
So my question is, now that we're getting to like our last action or so of the round,
points.
we have to, like, after this, we're going to be showing the rest of our hand, and then we use the research symbols. So whatever's left over is what you can spend to get additional cards, and how much money. The money is also how much money you get.
Yes.
Yeah, you get all the resources. There could be, for instance, there could be a tank. There could be an army on there, and you would just, in that case, you would just gain
that. Yeah. But one thing is, if you're like, oh, but the cards I have left only have 3 research, is that going to be enough? You can, any unspent country ally cards, you can use their value in that white hex, that number, to defray the cost of new cards as well.
Do they get refreshed?
Only some of them will get refreshed depending on what focus you choose for the next round.
Yes, which is why I'm going to do the growth card and get the card that Matthew got. That's pretty sweet. I don't know how to put it. There you go. Sorry. I play Aries a mess. Okay, I'm going to take the diplomatic initiative. So this is 1 service and 1 diplomacy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's me.
And so when you focus, you can ready additional card, and then you get a point
card
for that. So I will put you up to 20.
Oh, you get a...
Or is it 2?
2.
2 points. 21.
That's a 2 points that I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
Okay, last action of the round.
All right, I'm going to trade. So I've done 1 of everything because I want to highlight all the actions that the game has to offer.
Nice.
So I am going to trade. Now, trading is a whole thing. We have a trade policy card. Each country has one, and they're all different.
Where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it? I'm just following you around as you move the card around.
That tells me I'm allowed to make 2 exports and 2 imports, right? So I can export twice and import twice. Now, when you're exporting and importing, it's nothing to do with the countries that you're doing it with. It's the resource that you're exporting. The
total number
importing.
of symbols for that resource.
Essentially, if I was to export food, I could export or import as much food as I am allowed to do for 1 export or 1 import, which is important.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm single. Imagine. And so... Just let that...
It's not that funny. Oh, God.
Paula, take the moment. Just... Right, so... I want to keep some technological goods because I want to boost my prosperity at the end of the round for points and for money. So I don't want to go under 2 technological goods. Man, so I am going to export. Firstly, I'm going to export services. Now, I can export services to countries who want services. At the moment, Mexico and Iceland both want some good old American services.
Oh, and China. No, Japan. I'm so sorry.
And Japan.
My brain. Japan.
And do you know what, Paula? I'm happy to service all 3 of them.
Great.
And
3.
I will do
1,
so.
2, 3. So it's
1,
again,
2, 3.
Matthew's naming the countries here, but it's really about how many of that symbol do you have? He has 3 of those symbols showing.
So I've got 3 of those, so I'm selling 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And even if the countries are exhausted, like these 2 countries
you can still sell them.
Still export and import to them. Now there's a handy dandy graph which says I'm exporting 3 of those goods, so I lose them by actually I'm going to get 45 money for that.
Pretty darn good there.
Whoa.
Which symbol was it? Food?
That's a lot of money.
He's doing the suitcases.
Okay.
So I did services. So I'm low on services now.
You're out of them.
Next thing I am going to do is probably not. I might. Did I want tech? Yes. I'm going to export 1 tech to Mexico.
And again,
technological goods.
It doesn't matter technically where it's going, but it is listed there. That's 1. Now you can see over here, there's more consumer goods listed here, but they're smaller and they have this little arrow at the bottom, and that means those are things you can import. So those don't count right now.
15. That's another 15. So that's 10 and 5, giving me much moolah.
Wow, you are rich.
Well, now I'm going to be doing importing, Paula, so things could change quite rapidly when I'm importing.
Yeah, that's true.
The kink here is I can't import.
You can't sell something. I'm so sorry. I'm interrupting you, Matthew. You say.
Yeah, you can't import something that you've just exported or export something you just imported to kind of like make a quick buck that way. But you can obviously do it in later rounds. So I'm going to import. Now, the cool thing here is that there's all the other players are places who can get me stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose, funnily enough, I can't with China or the EU, but I can forcibly import from Russia, which is what I'm going to do.
And this means Matthew can import 2 energy or 2 raw materials. And the other country cannot say no.
But how about I get money?
Yes. So I will be doing both of those. So I'm going to spend, I believe, 12 because import. Yeah, it's 12 to import those. So I'm going to spend 12. I'm going to get 2 of each, 2 oil and 2 minerals, both from Banz.
Thank you.
So I'm going to give Banz 12 money.
Now and then should I do or do you do it?
Those don't come off your board yet, Bond. So see how you have these 2 cards, trade good cards on the left. So those represent goods you have just ready to trade. So the very first thing is you'll flip one of those to show that the energy from that one's been taken, and then flip the other one to show the raw materials from that one is taken. Now, if someone else would want to buy those from you, they would come off of your board.
Oh,
But you will produce these goods every round because you always produce your basic materials. So you will get these cards back at the start of the round.
Are you always?
The bonus thing, and the extra benefit for me is because I was a good member of the Earth, I get 1 diplomacy for trading with a friend, trading with another player.
Yeah.
I don't know why I changed that from friend to another player, Banz. I apologize. You know what I mean? But the interesting thing as well is that if I'd have traded with all 3 players, you can only get 1
diplomacy
per
It would have been worse if you would have said acquaintance.
With someone who happens to be here.
Yeah, just this random person.
I meant
that player.
I meant that the United States and Russia aren't friends now.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah. So that's my turn. I've done some trading, and I have got a lot of money now.
Okay.
I think I might trade on my turn too, because I'm kind of broke. So I'm going to play my card down here. Trade. Now, what do I want to do? I have 3 exports and 3 imports I can do.
Yeah, that's the benefit of China, right? Is that you have extra.
Let's see here. I'm going to try and decide this somewhat quickly. I will...
Sorry, I took a bit longer about it because I was trying to explain that.
No, totally. No, you're great. I'm just trying to say to myself, make a decision. Make a decision, Paula. I will trade Ooh, yeah, okay. I'm going to trade 2 of my consumer goods because I have 2 showing here. Oh, I could do 3, but I don't want to do all 3 because I want to save 2 of them. So I am just going to do 2. 1, 2, because I want to save 2 of them as well to spend on prosperity later. So 2 of those go out, and what did we say? Those were 15 each. So I'll get 30 money for that. That's one of my exports. My second export is I can export. I don't want to export. Do I want to export an oil? I'll make 2 next time. Okay, oil is 5, 5, 5. Everything's cheap except for... Sure, I'll export 1 food to the because I have 1 of those there. And so that gets me 5. It's worth 5 to export that. It's not worth a lot. I mean, food's pretty important, I would say, but whatever. And then I will... I could export a tank. How?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you typically use the cell phone resource for?
So the technology resource is mainly used for, obviously, exporting for money is a huge part of it.
Okay.
But
I'm also going to do an
it
oil.
it is the cost on your prosperity track as well.
Oh.
So if you look at the prosperity track, there is a cost of 2 technologies, 3, 4, 5, then 6 to get to the very end. And you get those points as you go. So there's a lot of points of prosperity to gain. So that's what they're mainly used for.
And then I have 3 imports I can do, but I don't really want to spend a bunch of my money on it. And I exported some of the things I could import, so I can't import those now. But I will import services, I think probably from the US.
It makes sense to do that, especially from the US, as being such a great global partner with you for so many years.
Right. And that's
oh my
10 to Matthew.
Game advice.
And then I'm going to flip that, and I'm going to get a service.
I will argue it benefits you as the player to do at least 1 trade with
the EU.
Another player, because you get diplomacy.
I gain a diplomacy for that, and then
that's right.
For my second import, I'm going to import. Well, this might all be combined into 1, but it doesn't matter. I'm also importing a service from the EU. So I'll give 10 to Monique.
From me.
One of these flips, and I get 1 more service. Okay. And that will be my turn.
You could have done both.
That was a good turn.
That was a good turn.
Maybe I could have. I'm not sure I could have, but that's fine.
I'm going to
spread it out a little.
Follow the rest of the world here and also trade. I will need some help with this.
Now, and you have a special ability on your card here.
I know I have this player aid too. Okay, so it says you may count either oil or raw material symbols in your allied countries twice. So if I'm going to import and export, and I can't do the same one twice, and the larger symbol is exporting, then
yes, the larger symbol is what those countries want, so you can export to them. Yeah.
Basically, you can choose right now to double the amount of oil barrels on your country cards or rock symbols on your country cards.
And then importing is when I pay someone for a thing and I get diplomacy diplomacy. Okay, so I'm not going to do the tech, and I am going to reset my production of everything on the top row of my player board for round 2, right?
The top row you will produce, so you're going to produce 5 oil barrels at the start.
No matter what, so I might as well just use it all because I can't go over. Yeah. I know I can't go over. Okay.
Yeah. So you might as at this point. You're absolutely right. You're going to gain 5 oil, so you have 4 to sell.
Might as well.
Sell right now. You might.
Okay, so I'm going to do all of it, and it really doesn't matter from where because I have enough symbols, and it's double.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Exactly.
So that would be 20.
20 money.
Yeah.
And then I'm also gonna and that was my one thing. I can only do 1, right?
You can do
like 2 another imports and because you've got a trade card, so you could do 2 imports and 2 exports. So that's 1 that you've done.
And you do your exports before you do your imports.
Might as well do the raw material because I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
Here's your 20 for that. I'll get you your money for this.
Thank you. So then that's 10 more total for
10?
the raw material. Okay, now I would like to export. No, I'm sorry, import. And I can import 1 suitcase from India, 2 raw material from South Africa, or something from my acquaintances.
Yes. From the other people who happen to be here. Yeah.
Okay, and so let's say, and I can do up to 2.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so let's say I want a suitcase from India. That would cost me 10 money.
It's expensive.
10 monies.
They're expensive.
Oh my! And why do I want that purple symbol?
You want them to pay for services.
help you pay
those
for,
suitcases are good for paying for these.
Oh my!
I love our little
Okay,
hands flying around. It makes me think of like swarming bees whenever I see them. Like
Hive
little
mind.
bumblebees flying around the table.
And then to get a cell phone or a tech, it will cost me.
It'll cost
10.
you 10, and you can buy them from me.
I'm going to.
Yeah, baby.
So how do I only get 1? I only get 1.
So you get as many as it says that you can grab from symbols. So you can get 1 from America or 1 from the. You could for services right now. You could get 3 if you wanted to spend 30 money on it, because you could get 1 from Europe, 1 from America, and 1 from India. But you can choose you can choose how many you get and where you get them from.
And then I could later sell them for 15 each, so that is a profit.
Exactly. On another turn, you can sell for a profit for sure.
For 30. But I like military tanks, and I don't want to spend all my money, so I'm just gonna buy one tank. I'm sorry, 1 technology and 1 suitcase. And Paula, I just took your $10. Sorry. Here you go. And then I use that. I'm gonna gain 1 and 1. Yep, that 10 was for you.
Brilliant.
And then
I'll flip
I
over
think
one
we're
of my
good
cards.
there. Yep.
And you traded with Paula, so you get diplomacy as well, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my turn.
Trading is the most complex action of the whole game, I think, because you've got to.
You gotta like kind of think about all that. It's got more little parts to it, right? Yeah.
Thinking about import and export. Me and Paula had a 5-minute argusation about it.
What? Argustation.
Yeah.
Well, I too shall trade. Sorry.
Might as well.
Everyone's copying America.
Yeah.
Same old story.
Well, I'm gonna export.
Next to be wearing denim shirts and drinking cheap beer.
It's true. I'm gonna export military to Canada, though, right?
Wow.
So where does this go then? Just out?
Just put it. It just goes out.
Oh, the big thing.
Or you can put it in your little bloop.
I see.
Digital
supply.
supply.
So that's 20. And then I'm gonna export. Hold on. Here, let me just do it all at once. I'm exporting that.
You know full well the Canadians going to put that tank on the Dolomites and point them right at Russia.
The cell phone. I'm gonna do the cell phone also to Canada. Oops, this is moving both. So that should be a total of 35, right?
Wow.
Nice.
And then I'm going to import. Oh wait,
we'll grab that for you.
Oh,
unfortunately, because of currency, you're only getting 35 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, so it's actually not worth as much.
I'm gonna import.
I apologize.
The suitcase. Oh, it's from Matthew.
I apologize to Manalik if he's in chat.
I'm gonna import from you, Matthew.
Oh, good lass.
10. But I'm only doing it for the diplomacy.
I've always liked you and your European ways.
I'm giving you the money, my money.
Brilliant.
You're
now,
here, right?
As America, could I ask
you
you
to
to
have
put
so
that
much
tank...
money.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
He's got a pile of money.
Wait.
As America, can I ask you to put that tank somewhere?
Can I take that back?
Yeah, sure you can. You can take it back.
Matthew has
I only have
Hold on
23, and you can trade with me 2 of.
Yeah. I will do that. I'm going to import your rocks. So 6.
I got a cell phone you could take from me if you wanted.
I just sold. I can't.
Oh, copy.
So I have to pay you 6 then, right?
Wait a minute. Both my cards are flipped over. Oh wait, but then you actually take it.
So I actually take it from you. Do you have any?
But there's
So
no
that I
more.
can-
Ooh. You might have to buy from Matthew.
Oh, I don't want to buy
Oh.
from Matthew.
You don't have to buy
Crawling
it all.
back to the United
Oh.
States.
Okay, I did it. I did
Couldn't
it for
rely on that
diplomacy.
Russian oil. Could
All right,
you? You
that's
wanted
it.
Ohio grade. That's what you want.
I sold it all.
I'm done.
No.
All
Shouldn't have
right.
sold
No.
it, Banz.
So
I will let you down next time.
this
As
is
America, we're only currently selling canola, but that's fine. It's pretty
Canola
good.
oil.
Just you can use it for most of your needs.
we have now finished our first round of actions. It's only taken us. There's no way we're not even gonna get to the end of round 3.
No, we got this. We got this.
But
Blitz.
okay.
I will argue we are enjoying playing the
We
game.
are
So that
enjoying,
is-
so we will play as much of it as we play, and that's that. This
Right.
is to give you all an idea. So we'll just play as much as we play, and that's it.
we will go
I'm not going to
through
rush us.
the aftermath phase of the game, which is what we're in now. So we go preparation phase and the action phase, and we move into the aftermath phase. First thing is get return on investments. If you put an FDI token out in any of your countries, you get $3 back, or 3 money, or whatever currency you want. I
So-
think that's none of us invested
No,
in
Monique
countries.
did. Oh, you
wait,
just,
I did.
you just don't have your token on the country you invested in.
Oh,
I'll give you
which
3.
country did I invest? I'm just gonna put it there. I think that was
I
it.
think it was
I think you're
it
right.
was Norway.
Here's your 3 money.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's
Oh, it was
the other
Norway.
country that's
Yeah.
exhausted.
There's
So
your
you get
3.
3 money for doing that.
Okay.
Congratulations. So next we increase prosperity if we want. That is selling tech goods and going up on the prosperity track. So for instance, we went through this in turn order as well, just so just for ease, but I'm going to spend 2 tech goods, go up on the track. I get 2 points and 10 money.
I'm also
spend
doing
2.
that.
Yeah. I get 3 points, but only 5 money.
Oh, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different,
1,
yeah.
2,
So
3.
Wait, you just
point.
moved mine. But thank you.
Oh shoot! Sorry. 1, 2.
I know.
3.
No, it's fine. I need to go.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Did we get the same amount?
Wait, did you move? I need to move up 3. Did you? Is that moved?
I did move it 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Cool.
All right,
cool.
next thing we do, and that I will mention is an example of why we do it in turn order, just for those at home.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point, 'cause-
Oh.
'cause
Whatever.
for sure. So next thing that we are going to do is stop pressing the space bar, and instead we're going to add auto influence for 2 to 3 players only.
We don't need to do that.
In a 2 to 3 player game, there'll be the other players will add influence around the board, add cubes, but you get to know where they're going to go to simulate a larger player count. Then we're going to resolve threat. Resolving threat is only going to take place in one region on the board.
Because only one
and that
region has
is
tanks.
The Middle East. And that's because we put some tanks in the Middle East. Now, me and Banz both have put tanks here. Banz put more tanks here than anyone else. So because Banz has more tanks than the European Union and America, and the European Union and America care about this region, both the European Union and America will lose 2 points.
2 points.
Okay.
So
Now, if this was if this was not the US and the EU, say this one of them was China, so if I was in there instead of Monique, this was China instead of the EU, I would have 2 people who had more influence militarily than me. So I would lose 2 points for each. I'd be losing 4 total points. But that does not happen between the US and the EU because of their NATO pact.
yes, and Paula, if you put a tank in here and you're the only one with a tank in here, everyone else would still lose points.
Yeah.
Because even though you don't care about this region,
It's
the
still
people
more
who
than
do care about this region have less tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone would lose points that way. So that's how that's going to work. And that's the end of the round. So there's always points up for grabs at the end of the round. And it's mostly based on tanks. Now we're going to move into the research phase.
Did everyone lose their
which is what
points
we
that they
should
need to
have done,
lose? Whoa.
Yeah.
Why did
Yes.
blue get moved backwards?
Because I gained 2 points, then I lost 2 points.
Oh, I'm red. What the heck? Sorry. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what
Wait,
color
you
I am. I
moved
moved
white?
white. Then I started thinking about blue. Honestly, I don't even know if I'm on the right number of points because who knows what color I am? Who knows?
I think you're probably around 22 points, actually.
I think so. Oh boy.
What I will say is we should have done the research phase first after the aftermath, so we'll do that now. So the research phase.
All your action cards get discarded.
We do it in turn order, so it's me, then China, then Russia, then the EU. If we go over to my board, Paula, these are the 2 cards I have left. So I'm going to gain, I don't know if you're here or not, I think you are.
I'm here.
But I'm going to gain 6, 7, 8, 9 money, so I get 9 money. I have so much money.
You're so rich.
Oh my gosh.
Well
How
over
much money?
100
2,
money.
4, 6.
I don't know why our government
What are you
keeps having to
doing?
go into shutdown while Congress approves more debt. If this is the amount of money the U.S. has, you know what I'm saying?
Shut the national parks. But I have 3 research. Okay, so I've got 3 research, I have 3 magnifying glasses, which is the research symbol. Because we are all domestic focused in the first round, one of the bonuses of doing that is getting 2 research. So I've actually got 5 research, and you are able now as well to exhaust cards to also add to that. So I have a possible 7 if I exhaust Mexico and Iceland. So I've got 5 right now, and I get to buy a card. I think I'm going to grab this well laid plans card. And this new card will go on top of my deck, which means I am guaranteed
You get it immediately. And these also immediately refresh. So if Matthew has enough to buy another one, he now can with new options in front of him.
All right, so China, would you please now?
Okay, so these are the cards I have left. So I will get 9 money and 3 research as well, with addition to my 2 research from being domestically focused. So 9 money. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, these cards are expensive.
Oh my gosh, I did not grab all of that.
Yeah, Candace, this is a deck building game. It's core, it's a deck builder and an area control. I think it's
so we have
the way the actions work is deck building. You do have to consider that.
So
like, and you can buy cards which help trash other cards, which is good for like slimming down your deck and all that type of stuff as well.
Ooh, I like diplomatic activation of allies. I'm not gonna overthink it.
Anything? You just don't get a card?
Yeah, true. And also whatever's left on the very right hand side once we're all done will wipe. It will go away. Okay, so I'm going to take diplomatic activation of allies because it's going to let me ready up to 2 allied country cards and then engage in a region. I like that. So I'm putting that on top of my deck there. Okay, that is me because that was all 5 of my research I had without exhausting any cards. So I could, because I'm going to pull that. Wait, is anything 3? Because I could exhaust all 3 of those cards. Improve logistics. You know what? I will spin my other 3 by flipping cards to grab improve logistics as well. That's what I'm doing. Flip. For all
you
of those.
could buy more than 1 card.
Yeah. Okay.
Paula, you villain.
Haha, sorry. Okay, that's me. Bonds.
Okay. Oh, that was a really great card. I was hoping you wouldn't buy it.
Sorry. I'm just gonna keep the camera focused on the row down here of research cards while y'all buy, and I'm gonna pee real fast.
Okay. So I really, really like that card. And now I have to rethink. So I'm going to...
What determines turn order for the next round?
So we're going to bid for turn order. Like we get to choose our turn order like we did at the start of the first round. And it's based, again, as a catch-up mechanism of sorts on the lowest points. So at the moment, I get to pick first, then China, then Russia, then the clear winners of democracy, the European Union.
All right. So I have 5 total. What is it called? Wait, what is the magnifying glass called? Research. And then I flipped over 2 of my ally country cards, so I have a total of 7. I will get new strategic partner, improve relations with a country on the board, then build base in that country. And my question was, what is the cost of a base again? I know it's the symbol. 5. It's just 5.
So the base, yeah, they cost 5. They inherently cost 5. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It says pay 5 for a base and then 5 to move an army. So yeah, it costs 5.
Okay, and then that was all 7. So I'm just gonna draw the next card, and Monique, then it'll be your turn.
Okay, so the 2 cards that I have in my hand are these. Ooh. Okay.
So,
Okay, I put it on the board. Sorry. I get 4 money. I'm gonna take a 5 and give back a 1. I think I get a diplomacy.
Ooh, yes, you do. Very cool.
Did you take money guns as well? Did you get your 10?
Oh no, I didn't. I get 10. Sweet.
Yeah, take your 10.
Nice.
I only got 4, but I also have 4. No, wait, sorry. 3. I have 3 research.
Plus the 2. From having diplomatic focus. So you have 5. Excuse me.
Get
Thank
2
you.
research immediately.
Domestic
Oh,
focus.
Zoomherger. Oh wait, Zoomherger. Wait. I had 2.
You had 2 more.
I had 2 more.
Oh.
Domestic
You did have 2
focus.
more.
Go ahead, Bun. Do you want to do something else?
There was nothing for 2. So, maybe
But you have countries to exhaust.
I do. I will
Work them to the bone in those countries.
1,
Exhaust
2.
them.
I'll exhaust 2 more and get 4. And sorry, Monique, I might have
That's
thrown
okay.
you off here.
Go ahead.
I'll just grab one of these 4s,
Sure.
and I will ready an allied
good.
country. That'll help me flip over the card that I just had to use to pay for it.
Bun!
Okay.
The 1 card.
That is a good card. Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't even read it all. I just
That's
not ready
so
now.
funny. Like, oh yeah, that one looks good.
Fine. Okay. Man, okay, so ensure peace.
Oh.
This is not that good. Right? Because now we have to consider like what focus we're going to be choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is how many cards you're
Yeah.
going to ready in the next
Because
round.
if you do, you may spend 6 in engaging. All right, I'm just going to take this one, the 4, because I only have 5.
Yeah.
Oh, produce, then move up to 3 for each region in which you have. Oh my God, that's complicated. Okay, I'm just gonna take the ensure peace in the
Whoa,
region.
that's a
I don't
cool
know.
card though. That's good for the US. Produce
You like
tanks, then move up to 3 tanks. For each region in which you moved your tanks and have the most there, or are tied for the most, you gain a victory point. Sorry, that's the global presence card.
Wait, hold on. Produce, then move up to 3 for each region.
So
okay,
essentially,
I'm
you
just
could
gonna take
spend 20 money to produce a tank, then move 3 tanks, but you get 3 points if you, like at the start of the game, you can I'll put 1 in.
Yeah.
But obviously, you have to be able to put the tanks there. Like, say, you have to either have a base or you have to have to be printed on the board that you can do that as well.
Oh my gosh, how do you put
I like
it in
how-
the deck?
So flip it over first, so it's face down.
Oh, I see.
And then there it goes.
I like how Monique was like, I could do global presence. Now I'll do ensure peace.
It's what you have
you
to
got those
consider.
in there. Alrighty.
All right, so everyone's done their research, yeah?
We did it.
So this card's going to go because it's at the end.
Yep, it
This
refreshes
card
out.
can come out. Technically,
Well,
it should go.
It should
but
all
I've just done
slide.
this
I'll
way
do
now.
it.
Well,
And the cards that we just used,
On
the
top of your
last 2
deck.
cards on top of the disc.
Well, on top of your
the-
deck.
The used cards go on the
Go into your
discard.
into your
Yes.
discard. Yes, sorry. So they go
I
to
know
discard.
they were very picky on that in the rules. Like it goes in your discard pile, not here, and then once it runs
Well,
out, then
Including the cards that you revealed, everything gets discarded. All 6.
Yes.
All 6 get
6.
discarded now. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the reason that, because you want the cards that you buy are on top of your deck, and that's very important. You want them to be there.
So you can
ensure
use
that
those
happens.
immediately. Yeah.
How do you
So
pick up
okay,
okay.
What do you?
click and hold. So what we will then do is go to the aftermath, which is actually already done, which we shouldn't have, but we have anyway.
That's
so we go
all
to the
right.
aftermath, and we score some points, and then we go back into the preparation phase, which is the first thing we're going to do. So we'll go through this now, the preparation phase, and then I think we'll jump right ahead to what a scoring round would look like, and we'll do a few example scorings.
Well, let's see how long it
Unfortunately.
takes us to. Let's see how
We
long
have
it takes
20
us.
minutes. We have 20 minutes, and I want to go through the preparation phase.
Let's do
Okay,
preparation
first thing-
and see how long.
10 points.
See how long preparation takes us, and if we can play a round or 2, but we may not be able to. Or not a round,
So
a
the first
turn
thing
or
we're going
two.
to do is draw cards. So you draw 6 cards. So the card or cards that you just bought will be there.
I just got a spam message of someone I don't know, and all it says is, "What are you eating?"
Are you eating?
That's an important
Are you actually eating right now,
question.
Paula?
I'm not.
Well, first time for everything. Paula, you normally are snacking. Paula is a snack.
I was earlier. I got to open wrapper here.
Ooh.
So we draw cards. Then we reveal country cards. What that means is that a new country card will be brought on top, and we'll move them over. So like this.
Everything goes
So
from
there's
the left
always-
country to the
this is
right.
oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. And if the left-hand side ever runs out, you just take whatever's in the right, move it over, and then start again, basically. Man, I want to play the whole thing.
Yeah.
I really want to play. I played 2 half games of this now, and I'm pretty desperate to play a whole game of this because I
wanna play the whole game.
Stream, but I do like this. I am into this. So then we will determine turn order. So we take these off, and I get to pick first because I'm currently not the point leader. Let's just phrase it that way. So I will pick first player again. Now China gets to pick. Where would you like to go? I think it's the same as it was last time, actually.
Yeah, you know what? I liked going second. No, I'll go second. I'm gonna keep the same.
Russia.
I'm gonna take third.
All right.
And
I'll take fourth.
The EU takes 4th. The reactionary EU. So then we get to next thing we're going to do is produce primary resources. So producing primary resources is exactly that. You go and look at your resource track for oil, energy, minerals, and food, and get those resources. That's why Banz spent all hers, because she knew she was going to get 5 oil. So I'm going to get 3 oil.
And they don't carry over. Like I had 1 food and I have 2 production, so I don't get 3 oil. I just go up to 2, right? Okay.
No.
No. You get what you make.
You fully get what you make.
You just can't go past 10.
So I have a total of 3 then.
Yeah, if you had 1
you
food, you make 2, you'll now have 3.
Yeah. So
the
your
only
production.
restriction. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the only restriction is that you can't go over 10. And think of it as what you can produce and what you can store is completely separate. So you can store up to 10, but I can produce 3 oil, for instance, energy. So I get 1, 2, and I get 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And then we all get to choose a focus. So we have our focuses, domestic, diplomatic, and military. This is done in...
You can do this simultaneously or separately if you really want, but we can't all choose this at the same time. And this is not one of those games where it's like, last turn you chose domestic, so this turn you have to choose something different. You can keep it exactly the same if you want. But we'll tell you how many cards you can ready, and then what you can produce, and then a power for the whole round. So last round we were all domestic focused, so we all got 2 extra research. But if you choose something else, it's the thing without a bullet point by it. That'll be like your power for the round.
So you may want to consider like the cards in your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, like, where's the synergy?
And if you want to do more military stuff, you should go military focus because you get a buff to your threat and to your defense, for instance. I'm going diplomatic. That allows me to untap, unexhaust the most amount of cards. That doesn't actually make a difference to me. But I now get a ready for country card. Then I may spend 7 to increase the production by
your diplomacy.
Increase your production of diplomacy by 1. So I'm going to increase my diplomacy production to 5, and now I can produce diplomacy. So I'm going to spend 7 to do the increase. Then I have a diplomacy production of 5. So I'm going to spend 15 to get 5 diplomacy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting me up to 9. So I have 9 diplomacy for the next round, which is huge.
Yeah, I'm also doing diplomatic focus, so that's what I'm doing.
That was 15, so it's 22 I just spent.
So for mine, it's I gain 2 tanks and I put them above on my board, right? Because I chose military.
Yes.
and then I immediately spend 6 to increase the production by 1. So I grab one more and spend 6.
Yes.
Or do
if
I
you
just
increase your
increase the
production
cube?
during this step, you immediately gain another one of the things that you increase your production for. So yeah.
And and this cube moves up by 1.
Yes.
And then the bullet point produce a tank. Do I do that right now or later?
You do that now.
Produce. And I can only do.
You can produce up to your production limit. So you can produce up to 3 if you can afford it.
Ooh.
Why did you spend 22, Matthew?
So I spent 22, Monique. Thank you for
it's 7. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, 7 to increase my production. Oh, so our boards are not the
They're
same.
different.
So it might be different.
Mine, it
Sorry,
only cost
that
me.
great?
Oh no, mine was 7 and 3, the same as Matthew's, but our boards are different. So they might have some different costs and different things you can produce and limits on your production and things like that. Zamharger, I'm not sure for food if it certainly is used to produce tanks, and then also you can use it to import and export. As far as I can tell, the main thing for it is to feed your armies. Yeah.
Because it's a tank symbol, but you're feeding your armies essentially. Is what you're doing.
So I have 6 tanks. Okay,
I'm horrified.
I might as well just try this
Yeah.
route. Like if we're gonna end.
I feel like every time I've seen
minutes.
someone play Russia, they always end up with a lot of tanks.
They're like,
and I feel
what?
like that's.
Oh my god.
That's what your board, our
With your
boards are,
board.
each kind of world power is tuned to behave in a certain way, right? And so our powers, our boards guide you strategically kind of based on the country you are, I think.
That looks really threatening. But bonds, like if you get cards that allow you to export more military, you can really make a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
you
have
got
one
2,
right here
4,
already.
6, 8, 10. You got 12. You got $120 worth of tanks as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, export them out.
Did you finish your focus?
My focus? Oh yeah.
You did all the things?
okay.
Yeah, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna do diplomatic. So you said that if I spend the 6 to increase, I automatically get a diplomacy?
Let's
If
see.
you increase it?
Well, in this case, so I may have slightly misspoken. So if this applies to you, Bonds, I apologize. So if you increase at this point one of your primary productions, you would immediately gain that thing.
Yeah, I see
if you increase your production for one of these other things, now you have the chance to produce it as part of this focus, and now you can go up to the amount that you have increased it to.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend the 6. I'm going to spend 21 in order to fully produce.
So he's doing exactly. Yeah.
diplomacy.
do what
Yeah,
I
I'm
did,
doing the exact same
Nice.
thing that Matthew did.
Look at us, friendly nations of the United
Yeah.
States of America and European dogs.
China's also chosen a diplomatic focus this turn, so I don't have as much diplomacy as the rest of you, but I'm trying.
All right, so that is the focus, and that's that. That's what happens in that phase. And we go on and we start playing again, and I am first player. We have 10 minutes left. So instead of doing anything, we probably should.
It's so funny. We were like, we will definitely get through the first half of the game.
I really wanted to get through more of the game, and I would say in reality, if you're playing this, we would have got through. But because
we absolutely would have made it to the halfway point. I think at
4
this point,
players.
it's just
4 players, I think 2 hours is probably a reasonable expectation if everyone knows the game. I think is probably what.
Oh yeah,
Wait, how long?
Ready for country cards.
2 hours for
2 hours.
Sorry, 2 hours for 4 players. I think is reasonable. Oh, don't forget that you would have readied some nations as well.
Oh yes.
So,
but we're
if it comes to the
streaming.
board,
Everything slows down,
Yeah.
right, y'all? So.
We've got access to this. I want to play a full game of this at some point. So So what we would do if we were at the end of round 3 or the end of round 6, we would be doing a scoring of the areas of the board. So the first thing that scores when you do that is you score 1 point inherently for every cube that you've got out on the board, essentially. All right. In this example, we have, because all the top influence has been entered into Europe, we are going to score Europe. The first thing that would happen is that yellow would get 4 points, blue would get 2 points, white would get 2 points, and red would get 2 points. Let's move these tanks here as well, because this will make a difference in this case. In this example, we have this. So this is scoring because we have these cubes here. All of the opponent cubes are there, which would mean this region would score at the end of round 3 and at the end of round 6 as well, because these cubes won't be going anywhere. These cubes might be changing. And in this example, yellow is the clear majority leader. So yellow would score 9 points. So in total, yellow would have got 13 points from their cubes because they've already got 4 for just having cubes in the region. But they get 9 points for being the winner. The runner-up is a 3-way tie, which is probably not the best for an example, but it's a 3-way tie. So the first way to just do a tie, let's do a 2-way tie. I will change this tank for a red tank.
It's fine. A 3-way tie is it works the same way as a 2-way tie.
Let's do it this way. So now we have a tie between white and red for second place. If it was a straight tie and there was no tanks involved, then they would both score 3 points because they would both score the next one down, essentially. However, because we have some tanks, those are going to break the ties. So in this case, white, because they have 2 tanks, beats red with their 1 tank. So in this case, white would get 6 points, red would get 3 points, and blue would get 1 point for their 1 thing. That is how scoring will work in all the regions. There are also, if you go to the Middle East and Africa, there is a dummy player. Even in a 4-player game, there's a dummy player who is there. That means you have to force more influence and makes it slightly more interesting, I think, which works quite well. That's how the scoring is going to work. And we're also going to score. Yeah, we're also going to score. We've already done our tank scoring essentially in all the regions as well. At the end of the game as well, there's these 3 things to score. It's again first, second, and third for the most money. So 5, 3, and 1. This one is for the most tanks on the board, not on your player board. Actually present on the board at the moment. Russia would be winning this. 6, 3, and 1. And this one is for the most allied nations.
How many countries?
So if you go over to my board, I currently have 4 allied nations, even though I've got 2.
Oh yes, you're right, because those are the same.
Yeah, even though I have 2 Japan cards, they only count as 1 nation. And that is how the scoring is going to work. Unfortunately, we'll never know who won. And because I'm first player, I feel like that means I should win.
That's funny because you got first player by having the fewest points. So
and also you might have the most money, so I'll get you 5. But I have the most tanks, which would get me 6, and the most allied countries, which would get me 7. So it's 13 more, and I'm already at 21.
Yeah, so we're saying is that there was some shenanigans happening with points though before, so I'm not sure we can trust. Don't throw the table.
Whoa!
Wow.
Matthew. And with that flip of the table, you got to see our first round playthrough of World Order. I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek taste of the game. Maybe you could decide if maybe this game is right for you. Again, link in the description below for the Kickstarter campaign that is live as of the time of uploading this video. A big thanks to our sponsor, Hegemonic Project Games, to Monique from Before You Play, and Bonzinator for being our guests. Their information is also linked in the description below. And if you ever want to catch one of these gameplays live on Twitch, come on over. We stream board games every week as part of the This Game Gets Dicey show, and that is over at twitch.tv/Paula Deming, and we hope to see you there. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you on the next one. Bye.